All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning here. This is Tim Jones, the voice of Jacksonville Pool, coming to you live from the one and only Aiken, South Carolina Rack and Grill 3 for the Battle of the Border here. Let's get this party started, guys. Jones, the voice of Jacksonville Pool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get this party started off right away here. Waiting on Mr. Calvin to come back and join me. All right, guys. So we're going to start off with the doubles matchup over here, representing for the CSRA, Tracy and Robert here, South Carolina Midlands. You see Mr. Marty right there on the screen, but it's Jonathan and Marty over here. On the second table, we're starting off with 9-ball singles here. It's going to be Mr. Carl versus Mr. Troy over there on the second table. What's going on, my friend? How are you doing?
What's going on, Tim? Glad to be here.
Hey.
Glad you guys had me back.
Appreciate you, Calvin. Thank you so much, man. It was amazing last year getting to have somebody that knew both teams, because that's always the worry, right? Is you come into an area where you're like, I know a couple people, I remember some faces,
Right.
but Lord have mercy, do I not remember names to save my life?
Yeah. So I think like both teams have like between like three returning players or four,
Okay.
On
That's not
both
bad.
sides. But you have some new additions on both teams. I think the lineups this year are gonna make it a smidge closer.
There we go.
Than last year. I think the teams are a little bit more balanced, I guess is the right way to say it, because I felt like last year both teams were a little, top heavy, I guess you could call it.
It does beg a question, too. I mean, guys, this is being played Moscone style, and if y'all aren't familiar with that, basically there is a lineup you have here. So you have your 7 players. You put them in order of 1 through 7. And from there's an actual list of which order the matches are done here. So on the first table, we have matchup between the first player and the 7th player for both sides. In this case, happens to be Tracy and Robert. And for Midlands here is Jonathan and Marty. On the second table, matchup number 2 is 9-ball only, and it's going to be against the second player on both sides, which, again, is Carl and Troy here. So we have a little lineup here for the rest of the day on how this is going to go. But first team to 13 points wins.
Yeah, that's right. So 25 matches in total. So 13 is a number that everybody's trying to get to.
Now, Calvin, last year here, I don't remember the exact score. I should have looked it up, but the CSRA ran away with it last year.
Yeah, they just kind of jumped out ahead. I think that it'll be closer this year, considering that not everybody, but both teams have done it. They've had time to make adjustments. I think with those adjustments being made, hopefully it'll reflect in the score.
Hopefully so. I'm just excited because they're, with last year being the first time ever that this has went on, I think there was a lot of learning to be done last year, and we'll see how the teams implement what they learn.
Absolutely.
Now, I am excited. There's a couple of faces I definitely remember seeing from last time here, so very excited to see how they do again and how well they play. But, yeah, I'm always interested in this one. This is a fun one. This is one that I've talked to some other league operators. I was like, guess what they're doing over here? And it's just a real, if you will, hype moment for me.
Yeah.
Just because this is essentially Moscone style without ever actually going to the Moscone Cup. But
Right. It's a local Moscone,
Yeah.
so to speak, right? Yeah, the Moscone is the most exciting event of the year, amongst the pros, and I think that, having an event with a similar format with players of this level on the local scene in their APA region kind of is just a scaled down version of it. So
Yeah.
it's nice because league players, APA players, anybody that doesn't really get out there and venture out, sometimes they don't even know about events like the Moscone.
Correct.
And,
Yeah.
this will kind of open up everybody's eyes. Especially it being streamed and all the viewers and stuff. I hope that everybody gets something out of this, not just the people who are local to the area.
No, I definitely agree with you 100% around that. I happened to switch over real fast here. That was Mr. Troy that was on the table here. Now it's Carl back up to it for the CSRA. But, man, he was in a predicament with that 8 ball. Did you see that?
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of still in a predicament right here.
Yeah, that 8 ball's below that side pocket, isn't it?
It looks like that you can draw below it or follow, but the angle's a little deceiving there because you can do that right there.
Way to go. Good job cheating the pocket there.
Exactly.
Man.
And shots like that are shots where you have to shoot them enough times to really feel comfortable doing it under pressure. Shooting a shot like that you haven't done before, it can be a real scary proposition because that pocket just looks so big. It looms right there. But if you're able to cheat the pocket confidently, you can do a lot of little tricky things like that. Like he could have drawn that ball past the side if he wanted to. He can follow it like he did. I've seen guys do it from where the actual object ball is like sitting like kind of where there's no rail to look like that. It doesn't look like there's enough rail for you to hit the cue ball with, and I still see them being able to pull that shot.
Miss Katie, what's going on, my dear? Welcome to the stream. Katie in there saying, my two favorite people here, Calvin and Tim. Let's go, Katie.
That's K-Dubs.
Yep.
That's my buddy.
First time I actually got to officially, now granted, I've known Katie for a while over the stream, but officially meet Katie was actually up over in Montreal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They had that team event in Canada, right? That's right. Coincidence there with that team event in Canada. The team that Katie plays for was in the finals against the team that I used to play for when I lived in New Jersey.
Oh, there we go.
And then that same team this year won the 8 ball in Vegas.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
that's nice.
Shout out to Brad Silver and his team. Glad to see you guys come so long. Maybe I was holding y'all back.
I don't know if I can believe that, Calvin. I don't know if I can believe that at all. I've heard of your great job on the table here, so.
I appreciate it. You're too kind.
Shoot, anybody that can go up against Josh Roberts now.
Oh God! I mean, I'm forced to do that though.
That's good though, man. He is he's top notch.
Yeah,
absolutely top notch.
He is. I mean, he's a top 100 Fargo rated player in the world. He's a local to our area. He's actually from the Lexington, Columbia area originally, and he still lives here. So yeah, Josh is they call him the Beast for a reason. But back to this action here.
That was Mr. Robert on the table right there. Tracy back to it.
Right, and these guys.
Great setup here.
Yeah, these guys have played together for years, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all that they're meshing so well. They do have complementary styles, and that's another thing.
That's huge.
That's another thing with what I see from the Augusta team is everybody's complementary to each other when it comes to playing Scotch doubles. I think that even if they don't practice together, just the years of knowing each other and knowing how each other play really makes you mesh a lot faster.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I've got to see a lot of Scotch doubles over the years, and it's amazing. Some people are like, well, as long as you got two heavy hitters, like, what does it matter? I'm like, no. I was like, I've seen heavy hitters really argue as for how something should be played out and the way you should play things in certain degrees, and it definitely makes a big difference for sure.
And I mean, a little hint for everybody out there, if you're new to like playing Scotch doubles or something like that. The real key to playing Scotch doubles is when it comes to meshing with your teammate or your partner is only one guy can lead. And you gotta know when to lead and when to follow, and that's a real important thing when it comes to Scotch doubles, because if you're both trying to lead, then it ends up being an overthinking game.
Yeah.
You need to flow with each other and trust each other when it comes to your shot selections. if you trust your partner to be able to shoot every shot that you can shoot playing shape, then you're essentially just a unit.
Make sure I didn't miss it here. I've been trying to bounce between the two tables. Want to give everybody as much coverage as we possibly can here. It is 1-0 in favor of the CSRA on actually both ends here. Carl won the first rack, who we're seeing right here on the live stream right now. Only downfall is, man, he's on top of that 6 ball and the 7.
Yeah, there's no offensive shot here. I don't think you can really shoot unless he feels like he can
If
cleanly. Unless he feels like he can cleanly go through this ball and play the 7,
yeah,
which he did. Ref calls it good.
there we go. That was dangerous too.
Yeah, it's a tall order whenever you're playing league, I guess, and you're playing with players who aren't as well versed. But in this situation, everybody plays at a high enough level to understand when balls are frozen, you can shoot through them. We do have a ref there. To make sure
9 on the snap there. Sorry for the outburst here, but
I don't know. It's an
beautiful.
exciting moment.
Yeah, very well done here.
It's an exciting moment to make the 9
Very,
on the
very well
snap.
done here. Look at that. Yeah.
But like I was saying, sometimes it's tough to call a player out on pushing through the cue ball,
Yeah.
double hitting it, things like that.
Well, I wondered if the 6 and the cue ball were frozen because he does have a push out option. Not a push out, but a push through on the shot that would have definitely made it legal. But I like the fact he jacked up like he did because that should. I'll knock on the table here because some people always say it does 100% eliminate the chance for double hit. It does not.
It does not.
100%. I've had that argument on stream with somebody before. They're like, he can't double hit. He's jacked up. I'm like, that is a big falsehood.
Yeah. Anybody that tells you that just jacking up like that, usually they don't really know what they're talking about. Maybe they think they do, but
Well,
I think it's our job as better as higher ranked players who understand the physics of the game to explain to everybody and not always let it go, let it slide by the wayside.
Yes.
I think the more you get out there and tell people who don't understand how it works, and you explain it to them, you show it to them in a way where they can comprehend it, or there's so many videos out there of guys who have slow motion cameras and can explain it, because
that's huge. That's what finally gave me the eyesight that I needed to
Right.
understand exactly what all in correlation is happening here.
Right.
So it's really good.
all right, so
I'm already back to the table here. I think he may have some room in between it.
and even if he can't, right here, even if he doesn't have a piece of it, swerving the ball right here is kind of an okay thing. Why?
Yeah.
Because you're going to be applying left English on the cue ball. On the cue ball, and that'll help it run up table. Only problem with that is you'll be surprised how many times you can make this ball just swerving it like this, because that's going to help throw the one ball towards the hole. But I think that he can see it without having to do any of
Yeah,
that.
I think with the way he's lined up on it, he can see a good piece of it.
Yeah.
Hits it good. Should stay back up in that mess.
Yeah, and that's
nicely done.
And that's not by chance. That's by design, everybody. That is a shot that he was playing for. You can tell when people are playing for shots like that because of the speed that they shoot them at. If a guy rams at the ball super hard and gets safe, chances are he was just trying to play for a roll there.
Yeah.
But that's by design.
Going for the one railer. Nicely done. Sticks it.
Yeah, and that's
Well played. Let's go.
and that kick too by design. It's a perfect opportunity to kick and stick. You just have to spin your rock, and you don't take the natural path or the natural in and out angle. You kind of take a flatter angle and you spin into it. That way, when you hit the object ball, it creates almost like a stop effect because you're coming at it from that angle. So let's see what Jonathan's got in mind here. Okay, and a well-conceived shot there as well. He played at a speed. He played at a speed where something good was going to happen for him, safe-wise. And I think Robert's on. Oh, there you go.
Sorry, Calvin. I'm gonna leave talking to you for just a moment. I'm double checking on things on my phone here.
Sure. So right here, I think the conservative play right here is to shoot the 1 into the 5, holding the 1 ball there, and then swinging your cue ball 2 rails back up to the short rail, or the top rail, I should say. And it looks like that's what he eyed up. So, the goal is to get behind the 7 ball, but, most importantly, you leave the 1 ball in that area, and it leaves it where if they want to shoot at it, they're going to have to take, what's considered a low percentage shot, I would think, in this situation, thinly cutting the ball. The angle on the screen tells me that he can shoot kind of like a containing safety here, possibly putting the 1 on the right side rail and splitting the 2 balls and leaving the cue ball on the left side rail. I can't tell if he left a shot here or not, but he's not shooting right away, so he must have just got there. The reason why I was saying that he should have, or I thought he might put the 1 ball on the side rail, is because you never really leave an option for the guy to shoot directly at the hole, because you're gonna leave him a bank or something like that, and that's a shot that could easily sell out if your speed's not perfect. Is this the 2 ball up in the corner right here?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so if he can see the whole ball here, then he's definitely shooting. Okay, so he could only see one. He couldn't see enough to cut it in, is what it was, because the 2 ball was in a playable area from just about anywhere.
I'll tell you guys, this is always the good part here as well. Whenever you get to see high level players and get to see a matchup here where it's almost a standstill right between these two. Nobody's potting anything just yet. 2 balls sitting somewhat as a duck in the corner pocket here, but both players here just playing very smart here, trying not to sell out on the rack, knowing how quickly you can get away from them real fast.
Right, and I mean it's the first match, so everyone tends to be a little bit more conservative. No one's gonna really take a swing just yet. But you might see Marty shoot this 1 in the side here.
Yeah, I was wondering if he has enough room to cut it here.
I think he does. Only problem is getting shape.
Yeah, he
you
was
see
able
how-
to ride between the rails.
Well, you see how he came above the 9, right? Because naturally if you hit that shot, you're coming away from the 9 and stuff, and you may hook yourself. So he applied a little bit of inside English there so that he could get shape, and that's probably why he missed the ball there, because it's a touchy shot, especially the early in the day, your first match. You really gotta be kind of dialed in to hit that shot under those conditions, being down 2-0.
And guys, bear with us here. I know the internet's dropping a few frames, maybe a little laggy on y'all's end. I do apologize. I'm gonna give it a few here, see if it balances everything out just fine for us, which it should, but it may take it a little bit to get going this morning. Everything checked out earlier with speed tests, so I'm assuming everything will just get back to normal.
So if there was ever a shot that I'd be slightly worried about, would be that one right there, because when you have 2 players who have like more of a fluid style of play, where they're hitting the ball at pace most of the time, not really rolling it. When it comes to a shot like that, where you got to roll it from a little bit of distance, people's strokes tend to kind of like fail them, I would say. But right there, he did a great job.
I think Mr. Carl may be up 4-0 over there on the second table. I know I just saw him take another one, but I believe missed a rack here a second ago.
And a tough spot right there. Robert tried to force that ball with high inside, and on a diamond table, even on a regular table, it's a tough shot, but especially on a diamond with a deep shelf, you got to hit that ball cleanly, especially at that pace. And really, he might have been lined up on that ball really good, but you can flinch on that stroke, and any little bit of flinching when you're applying English is going to cause the cue ball to deflect a lot more than you think.
Guys, just as a reminder here, Calvin's doing a great job giving us the play-by-play here. We are live on YouTube as well, the voice of Jacksonville Pool. So that way you guys can take advantage of it on your big screen TVs if you wish to do so.
Big shot here by Marty. I assume that he's going to draw back. Okay, so he just trusts his partner here, and that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah, it is a bar table at the end of the day, and
7-foot diamonds.
the farthest shot you're ever going to shoot on a bar table is 7 feet away. So if you play on anything other than bar tables, you understand a 7-foot shot is almost like a regular shot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. You're on those 9-footers there. That's kind of normal pickings.
Right.
Well, nice to see Jonathan and Marty here getting on the board against Tracy and Robert. Well played.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a text message update here, but I do believe Carl is up, I think, 4-0 against Mr. Troy. If I'm wrong about it, then it's 3-1 that worst-case scenario.
So
Race to 7, I'm assuming, in the doubles as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Troy's kind of in a spot here. Yeah, the reason why
he's in a predicament. 'Cause
well,
at 9.
the reason why he's in such a predicament here is, like, no matter what he does here, even if he kicks and hits this ball, the sellout is pretty big. So that's why he's taking so much time on the shot. One thing about Troy is, like, he's a well-versed pool player in all games. He plays great one pocket. He does a lot of things
good.
really well. So he can gauge, like on a kick shot, he can gauge whether or not it's worth kicking at freely. So you're going to see him jump this ball because he can't guarantee anything to happen kicking the ball. So he's just going to go ahead and take an offensive shot here, and that's what you should do. When you can't figure out if safe is the shot or not, you just go ahead and shoot at it. All right, so I guess he got his jump stick out just to kind of gauge whether or not he liked the jump.
Yeah, he done swapped again. He doesn't like it. I don't blame him. I mean, he's pretty close to that rail, close to the 6.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna maybe masse around it.
Well, you got to hit really high up on the rail here, and then let the masse spin you down because the 9s were so big right there, and he did a great job. I mean,
good job.
That's about all he could ask for in a shot like that. Massaing the ball and spinning down on it. There's a lot of guesswork going on there, but he hit it at a speed where he felt like something good was going to happen, and that's exactly what it did.
As we're going to get back to our Scotch doubles here. Actually, we'll go with our main overview here, see both tables at once.
Okay.
I know Mr. Marty's on that left-hand table there, 2 balls sitting at the top short rail here.
Yeah, so he's got a decision to make here, whether or not he can play this combo, or I don't think that it passes by, but it could. I don't think it does, though, from the screen. I think he was just eyeing up the combo here and seeing if he could get his cue ball to stay in a spot where he can shoot the 2 afterwards. Yeah.
Goes for it. Oh, wow. Good try.
Yeah.
Very good try.
And that pocket's kind of been like the Achilles of this match so far, Robert missed the ball earlier in that pocket, and Marty, a combo is a very tough shot to shoot anyways. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Good job there holding the ball in the pocket and not letting it drop. I mean, had it dropped, he still had shape. I'm sure that was in the back of his mind when he was shooting it. A little bit of an issue here for Tracy when it comes to them trying to get out here where the 7 lays. I believe that you have to shoot it down in the corner. But, the way the balls are laid out, every ball leads to the other one in this rack, and that's kind of what an ideal look whenever you have like a problem ball is just knowing that one leads to the other, it kind of alleviates the pressure of you playing shape.
I call this the sub me in coach situation here. It's all kind of set up pretty well here, kind of like a nice little drill. Dropped it over a little bit on that.
Yeah, he kind of misjudged the angle there, thinking that the cue ball was going to kind of come straight down versus like going forward towards the rail there. But, I mean, Tracy's a great shot maker. I mean, it's not going to surprise me that he shoots and makes this ball. So, all right, so a little funny here. He might have to play the short side of the 9. It looks like he's kind of on an awkward angle, like where he doesn't have enough to force it over.
Mm-hmm. Yep, timeout being called here.
Yeah.
He's asking about shooting it inside or not.
And that's preference, really. You know, me personally, I try to tell my guy, you know, just shoot whatever shot that you're gonna shoot on your own, and play shape for that. That way, you guys can gel faster, and then you know, getting a nice little rhythm. A lot of times, asking, depending on how your partner reacts, you know, if they want you to do something or they're trying to control you too much, you know, it could throw the whole dynamic off. But
yeah,
like I said, they play a very similar style, so it doesn't surprise me how well they're kind of meshing already.
and we come at Mr. Carl against Troy here, and Carl playing a great defense, very well played.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, hold on, that may have leaked out. I'm sorry, I may have talked too soon on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely did. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, we can see down the line here. He didn't really get there. But I don't know if Troy has any. It might be 4-0. So
It is. It's 4-0 right now for the
So
matchup, race to 7.
you know, in a situation like this, any shot's kind of like difficult, right? You know, you're
Mhm.
facing a big deficit. You know, even though the ball's straight in, but you know.
You can overthink it.
Yeah, and the bad thing here is like I know Troy. Troy wants to get a good angle on this 8 ball. I know he wants to like try to like fall on a good side of this 8 ball so that he doesn't have to do anything but pocket it. And now like right here, I mean this is kind of something that you wouldn't really fret over if you weren't facing a deficit.
Yes.
And you didn't
Yeah.
have your team riding on your back, right?
Yep.
But because of all that going on right now, you know, he's really kind of like taking his time to kind of settle in.
Now, remind me here, was Mr. Carl and Troy, are they back from last year?
Troy is back from
Troy
last
is,
year.
that's right. Okay, I
Oh,
thought so.
Whew, nice little bump nice little bump there.
Don't do this to us.
Yeah. And still, you know, like right here, still a little testy, even though this is a shot, you know, if you're just playing for fun, you know, or just practicing, you're going to nail him a good percentage of the time.
There
And
we
look,
go.
the cue ball still drifting towards another pocket.
Well, 4-1 for that. Troy
that's-
still down, but
And that's what pressure does, you know. Pressure makes you do things that you wouldn't normally do, and that's the great thing about competing, you know. There's all this pressure there to see if you can hold your nerve.
we'll talk about the added pressure, too. You got to be thinking if you are the South Carolina Midlands, and you remember what happened last year and how everything's, quickly got away from you. I mean,
Yeah.
very early on, there was a huge deficit.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think you're right. I think under pressure situations, I think that's why we saw him kind of taking an extra moment, rechalking,
Right.
resetting, all
And
that kind of jazz.
there's a fine balance there too, because you don't want to be so careful that it makes you timid to where
Yeah.
you shoot shots where kind of like that right there where you know he didn't want to spin the ball and risk missing the ball is probably what's on his mind there, because the shot from the 8 to the 9, if he spins his ball, it's not even close to coming to the side pocket. It's going to hit well above it. And then the shot right there on the 9 ball, Troy, I know him so well. Like he shoots those shots at pace, and you know he's going to shoot that shot with low outside on the 9, and then send his key ball across table and back to the center safely. You know, but he just feels like in that spot that you know you just want to do the simplest thing, which is center ball, roll it in. You know, but you can see what it can cost you if you're too careful. You know, you're kind of not getting yourself into gear for a big match. You know.
Let's see Mr. Troy's break here.
Okay, so he makes the wing and the
Yeah.
1 ball.
Very nicely done. Oh, 8 ball, get out of the way.
I think
yeah, he
I think
should
he's
have room.
okay.
Yeah.
I think he's okay right here.
I thought I was going to keep rolling for sure. I was like, man, I was like, after a beautiful break here, not having eyes on the 2 would.
Yeah, and it's great. He's got the right shot to get shape here. He can get shape for either the corner or the side. Getting shape on the side is a little testier because you've got to drag this ball over and the speed's kind of weird. So yeah, he's just gonna come.
Oh no, Mr. Troy with the scratch after the beautiful pot on the 2 ball.
Yeah, and that's just a case of not being able to dig down into the shot all the way. All right, back over here to the Scotch
Yeah.
doubles match.
He should be set up good. Nice little bottom right here, and can come back down. He's got a pretty good window for the 5 in the bottom right-hand corner pocket.
Yeah, right here. I know this angle looks kind of funny, but like I think the correct way to shoot the shot is to come to the bottom rail.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people
Yep.
are going to go to the side rail like this, and see, here's the problem with the side rail is there's such a big window to get straight in on this ball, and like kind of like force your partner into like a little trickier situation, right? But if you could hit the shot and really drag all the way up to the top rail, by the time it gets to the top rail, it's either gonna lay there, where you've got a shot where you can push the 7 out and get a good shot, or you're gonna come around and get the right angle. That's a great
He threw it
shot.
really
but
well.
That's a
Into
great
the side
shot.
pocket.
That's a
Oh.
great shot execution wise. It's so tough. It's so tough that you just really concentrating on making the ball there, and it can get away from you. That's again, that's why I was saying what I was saying about getting shape going across like that.
Rich on our live stream says, I can't wait to play on these tables. This is a nice place. I'm a big fan of Rack and Grill 3. This is a beautiful pool hall, well done. Nothing but gorgeous diamonds all around, and good space and good lighting and everything. So this is a very well established place. So
Yeah, shout out to Mike Newsom and Avery Newsom.
Yes.
This is their establishment, the Rack and Grill 3, Aiken, South Carolina. Can't remember the exact address. I know it's on York Street.
by the way, we have almost the exact same score across both tables right now, almost in the same order here. It is 5-1 in favor of Mr. Carl against Troy on the right-hand table. We're taking a look at for the 9-ball singles. And then for the doubles, which we're keeping the score with right now, Tracy and Robert up 4-1, both race to 7.
All right. And right here, I don't know if you guys can see, but Jonathan's over there in the chair, and Marty's over there in the chair on the opposite side. You can't really see them, but right here is where you just tell your partner, just forget about it, man. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like I know the score's 4-1, but it's still within grasp.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it 100% is. With these gentlemen being high-tier players and stuff like that, 4-1, like you said, might seem like it's getting away from you, but don't let that fool you. We've seen complete reversals. We've seen reversals where a person was up, 6-1 in a race to 7 and loses 6-7.
Exactly.
Like,
Like
it can definitely happen.
even though a race of 7 seems like a longer race, anything under 9 is a short race to me. I just feel like if you play at a certain level, you can.
Mhm.
You know that it only takes a couple of opportunities to really get back into a match. Now, is it alternating breaks or is it winter breaks? I forget.
I believe it's winter breaks. I think it's normal. I think everything they called out was normal Masters rules.
Okay, so if it's especially if it's winter breaks, I mean, you always got a chance if you play at this level.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to get on that roll and kind of dismiss to an extent what all has already happened.
All right, so if you're Team Columbia here, you've got your kind of like little chances here. I know you don't have anything offensive just yet, but you've got to be happy that you're keeping them off of a shot and just kind of like get yourself back into this match.
The voice of Jacksonville Pool. Yes, sir. It's on Facebook and YouTube. Should be shared out to the CSRA and the SC Midlands page too. Guys, as well, if y'all do me a favor, there's already been quite a few people sharing the stream. If y'all will just hit that share button, takes a moment. There's a lot of people still trying to find the stream right this second. In time, please hit those share buttons.
Yeah, so Marty's trying to weigh up like how to play this safe here, because I don't believe there's an offensive shot unless unless he's trying to play this combo on the 5.
By the way, Mr. Carl has ran away with it. He is up 6-1 against Mr. Troy over there on the 9-ball singles matchup number 2. James said, good to see great local talent commentating. Man, I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have it any other way. Calvin was clutch, and that's probably the biggest understatement of the year that you may hear. You may watch all the crazy political stuff here and think you've heard crazier things here being said or not said like thereof, but I promise you I do mean that.
I appreciate it. You know, I'm just happy to be a part of it and be able to kind of, you know, give back, I guess you say,
Yep.
to the pool community.
That's what it is.
You know, people say pool's like kind of like a dying thing, but like, you know, the more I look around, I see where it's got life. It just needs a big, you know, growth spurt, so to
Yes.
speak. And I mean, that's kind of the responsibility of everybody who plays at a higher level, who's been around the game. I think we should all kind of do our little things that we can do to kind of make it grow and, you know, get back to where it used to be, or better. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, I think, you know, if we take a look at pool over, say, the past, let's say about 30 years or so, give or take, right? There's been such a shift in the community in terms of, if you will, pool etiquette and expectations and game types and bridging the gaps between the giant pond that separates us all here, the different oceans, and, you know, getting more people out and about. And also I think from the live stream part as well, like just getting more of this out there so that way people can see it.
Yeah, definitely. Exposure is a good thing.
Yeah.
Good, or, you know, any kind of exposure is a good thing,
Yeah,
really.
hey, there's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at right there. So, I mean, Jonathan made a great shot there. I mean, he had literally less than half a pocket to shoot that ball in, and he got there. Only problem is that's all he could really do from his position.
Yeah.
And just trust that his partner, who, you know, is arguably the best player on the Columbia team, Marty is, you know, one of the best players in South Carolina, really. I think at one time, Dominic Dunn did you know, top 10 players in every state's Fargo, you know.
Yeah.
And Marty was number 10 in South Carolina.
He was he's one of the people that made such an impression that, like, as soon as I saw him, I was like, yep. Because I remember how he played last time. I was like, I remember really enjoying his matchups here.
Right.
And look at that brilliant defense too. Wow.
Yeah.
He even got it behind the 4.
Yeah, I mean,
Took the free jump out of the occasion. Jump and then back rail it first off the bottom short rail.
so I think what you'll see Robert attempt to do here, it's kind of tight because of where the 6 is, but you can, if you can, you want to go 3 rails at this ball and create separation. You know,
Be amazing.
contacting the right side from our view, you know, hitting it thin, contacting the right side, sending the 2 over towards the 6, and hopefully kind of like locking it up there. And then,
Good
yeah.
try.
So if he chose the 1 rail route there, then it means that the 6 was kind of in the way of the shot that I was talking about doing.
By the way, take a look at this real fast here. Mr. Troy's going for a 6-9 combo. I don't blame him for swinging for it if you're down 6-1. I mean,
Well, yeah, because the cut doesn't really lend to, you know, it's tough a cut already.
was he going for the combo or was that an X? I mean,
Well,
I don't know if he was going for that shot.
Well, listen, he's a 1 pocket player. That is the 2 railer to your hole down
Yeah.
there. So
I felt
I'm
like
gonna
that was
say
an
I'm gonna
accident.
say that I'm gonna say that he was shooting for like a 2-way there.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that even if he missed, at least he creates distance.
Which is your friend, that's for sure.
Right. Because, I mean, shooting the combo there, I think that, you know, the pocket looks so big for the scratch. It looms so large.
Got me right back above that 8-ball, too.
Yeah.
Look at this.
And a little testy here because you're going away from the 9 again, you know,
Mhm.
and that's what I mean. It's just every shot he's had, it just seems like he's kind of like just falling a little short or a little wrong-sided. If he hits that ball at any more pace, he's got an easy shot. He hits the bottom rail, he comes back up for an easy shot on the 8. it's just one of those things where you're facing such a deficit and you've got all this pressure on you carrying your team, where like every shot you hit just seems to be at that in between speed. But he's doing a great job here, settling himself, trying to give himself the best opportunity to do what he can for his team right here.
By the way, guys, for those that do not know, this is a $7,000 winner-take-all cash prize today.
Indeed.
Big money on the line here. $1,000 for each player on the team.
And you know, like, even though like there's a lot of money on the line, I feel like the players really could care less about the money. I think
Bragging rights, baby.
I think Columbia really wants to show that last year they just let it get a little bit out of hand and they didn't reel it back in fast enough, right? And I think they want to prove something this year. And ooh, that ball just did drop in time.
The drama llama. Man. Talk about trying to give us a good show here. Thank you, Pocket, for that, I guess.
They say that the first game and the last game are the hardest ones to win.
Yes.
So.
Yes, they are. Which, by the way, Mr. Mr. Carl over there going to get the win for South Carolina Midlands, getting their first team point here.
All right, and that was a big match because, you're kind of talking about like two guys that fall into the same spot in their lineup when it comes to like, I guess arguably, who plays at what, if there was a ranking of the players on each team, I think they kind of fall into the same spot, Interesting backstory here. The Masters team for Columbia and the Masters team for Augusta are both here playing in this event, and they actually both finished at the same spot in Vegas this year. I saw tied for 17 through 24, I think is how it breaks down.
Yeah.
But they both finished in the exact same spot, so
that means they were in top 32 is what it means. If they finish up at because the way it cuts off is it'll show 17th place, but it means they were in the top 32 teams.
I gotcha.
Yeah. It's a little different to have to think about it. I always have to wrap my head around it for a moment, kind of like start speaking it into existence. But we were blessed, too. We had a 9-mile team finish up in that same category. Yeah. Yep, top 32, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Which, when there's over 600-plus teams.
Yeah, it's a big accomplishment. Yeah. So right there, Jonathan, he immediately calls a foul on himself. He knows that the 4-ball did not get to the rail, And, if you're a league player watching this right now, it should be the norm.
Yeah, 100%.
If you commit a foul and you know it was a foul, you just call it on yourself. Make sure your opponent knows. Just pick up the cue ball, hand it to them, touch the cue ball, whatever it is. Because a win, to me, a win's not a win if you got a win like that.
Yeah, no chair winning here.
I saw a great quote the other day. It said, "Character is what you do when no one's watching."
Yes, it is. Nicely done. Very well played here.
Yeah, well conceived shot there by Marty. Knowing that he's going to kick the ball thinly, having a chance to like get behind this group of balls here. And even if he doesn't, he knows that the 8 ball's blocking the pocket somewhat. Even if he has a little bit of it, he's shooting at a small hole. And, whenever you're shooting at half a pocket on a diamond, I mean, any table really, it's a tough shot because, you kind of see that ball there and it just kind of blocks your vision or it impedes, like, your clear view of it. So everybody has a tendency to kind of just cut it just a hair more than they think they need to.
By the way, Chad asking, is that Calvin? Yes, that is Calvin.
Okay, what's up, Terry?
Richard giving congratulations over there to Carl. Yeah, that was very well played. Good, strong first win.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's always good to get that first one under your belt, right?
Yep, very well done. And on table 2 now, guys, we do have Jeff versus Finley. This is 8 ball. So it will be a race to 5, potentially 9 total racks. And here in a moment, I'm trying to see if it'll simmer down. I know we're having kind of the drop frames, guys, where it's, changing things around a little bit. You see a little bit of lagginess coming in. I'm going to give it just a little bit longer here. If it doesn't free up, I may have to give a reboot. But I promise you guys, as always, if we got to go that route here, I'll always have the stream right back up and running as soon as possible.
All right, right here, pretty routine pretty routine here. You're close enough to the ball. I don't ever envision seeing a miss from anybody at this level. But you know, the reason why they're using their timeout here is Jonathan wants to make sure he gets his partner where his partner's happy with his shot because you know, you are slightly going away from the ball. He just wants to know if he should go around and get him closer, or if he should, you know, just leave him a shot. I mean, he hit it great. Good speed, good line.
Yeah, it's a good setup.
Yeah,
Very well played.
yeah. Anytime you can make it easier on your partner, that's a great thing.
No, sir. Very unusual miss right there. Very unusual.
Yeah, that's a really uncharacteristic miss, especially from that distance. You know, that's really just, you know, the pressure of the moment. Then earlier I mentioned it, you know, where Robert and Tracy kind of took a little timeout on that 8 ball, and you know, he just shot a stop shot and left his part, or just kind of slid over just a hair, you know, as opposed to like going all the way down to the short side of that ball and leaving his partner like a straight in shot, for instance, right? You know, right there, whenever you kind of stop and ask questions like that, that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier, was the fact that if you just shoot, I think that if Jonathan just gets down and shoots the ball and just kind of like doesn't really ask, it kind of forces your partner to like get in sync with you as well, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe if you ask him, he's going to tell you to like get me closer or whatever, but you know, then you don't really fall into that natural rhythm of like just kind of, you know, I shoot my shot, you're going to shoot your shot, you know, I trust you to do everything that I can do and play shape the way that I'm going to get out, things like that.
By the way, Terry in chat saying, hope you're doing good, bro. Long time no see to you, Calvin.
Yeah, I haven't really been making it down to the Columbia area as much as I used to. Yeah, I mean,
tell you what, guys. I mean, good. This is why we don't have nice things in life, right there.
Well, I mean, I was busy. I was busy all year chasing Josh around in our little local tour, knowing that I really can't chase him down. I mean, I think out of 14 stops, I think it's 14 or 16 stops. I think Josh finished in like the finals of every stop but one. And
he is the Goliath of it, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, we have players like Johnny Archer and Mike Davis, B.J. Ussery. I mean, you could name a slew of Tommy Kennedy from your area.
Yeah, good old T. Oh, come on, Mr. Tommy Kennedy himself.
Yeah,
I love when he does that.
Yeah. So, you know, knowing that I'm not really ever going to chase him down, but I just want to at least, like, you know, give it an effort. And that's all I did this year, really.
That's good, though. Guys, as soon as this matchup here for the doubles is over, I will be rebooting stream, just as a heads up.
And that's a good shot right there by Robert, you know.
Very well played.
Knowing that he's going to come across it. Because, you know, coming across it, yeah, you can get behind the 6 ball, but more importantly, you don't leave them a shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't shoot this ball past the 4 up table or anything like that. I don't think that you can bank this ball being where the 8's at. You know, you just want to, you know, hold your man down and give yourself another shot at the table. Good shot, Robert.
Just going for the defense again.
Yeah, and, you know, that's kind of the same concept there. You know, you're trying to just kind of, like, leave him on the rail. If you get behind the 6, great. If not, you know, you leave him in a tough spot. You know, if I know Tracy here, he's shooting if he can get shape on the 3, which, I mean, you can get shape a lot of different ways here, even though you have limited options with your cue ball. You can bump the 4 for shape. You can come across. Depends on how you pocket this ball, really, if you're shooting at it.
Is that for you?
That's Jonathan's mom.
Ah, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I was trying to play figure out real fast with Calvin here, but awesome. Glad you're here in chat, Miss Rebecca. Hope you're doing well and blessed. Thank you for tuning into the stream.
I don't know. She could be talking to me. I'm just kidding. Yeah, and so what I was saying earlier about, like, you know, even though Tracy was limited on his cue ball options there, like hitting the cue ball from the rail, he overcut the 4, which in turn helped overcut the two, which helped him come across those two balls without colliding into them. Trusting that his partner's going to make the ball from just about anywhere.
All thing he's got to watch out
All
for
right.
here is just not get blocked up because of the 9 and somewhat the 8-27.
Yeah, so like right here, the good thing about it is he's right in front of the side pocket,
Yes,
so
he
he can
is.
cue the ball. He can cue the ball low if he needs to. I think it's worth it here to go ahead and try to draw this ball back. Yeah, jack up just like that and draw this ball back to the
Yeah.
side rail, ensuring that you get a shot, right?
Oh, here we go. Timeout being called. 1
'Cause-
for rack, by the way, chat.
Because if you go forward here, the problem with going forward here is you like to be able to cheat this pocket, but under these conditions you just kind of want to do the simplest thing, right? And if you hit it naturally to the center of the pocket here, you're gonna come to the short rail, and there's no guarantee that it's really gonna dive enough down to get there. You might overhit it and you might underhit it. So I think what they're gonna try to do is fall in between the gap of the
The 8 and 9.
yeah.
Yeah. This is my only worry about that force follow. He might have gotten in between the gap between the 9 and the rail.
And the good
actually.
thing is, even if you can't see it, you can always hit the rail first here,
Yep.
and rail first is going to get you shape.
Looks like 6 top left, 8 on the left hand side
So-
probably.
Yeah, but sometimes, like on shots like this, players tend to
Brilliant.
hit that ball with English just naturally, right?
Yeah.
And you don't always have to. Like, for instance, on that shot right there, you see how he didn't really load up with it, right? Because he knows if he loads up with it and he catches it just a hair thin, then he's going to be running right at the 8, right? He just wanted to make sure that he just floated over there nicely.
All right, for the hill. There we
and,
go.
And all that is experience, just knowing that you've done it a certain way and it didn't, you've hit that ball too far or too hard or come too long before and tied yourself up or did something that got you out of line. Tracy's playing a lot here lately too. He's really kind of. I mean, it's hard to imagine him getting better, but like he really has gotten better in like the last I want to say 6 months. Like he's really picked his game up, which is amazing because he always played great to begin with. So over on the other table, well, that was good. Well, playing. Listen, he was shooting for that pocket, so even if it was a call pocket game, he still makes it in that pocket.
Chris, he is. Calvin is definitely flicking his hair while we're speaking, 100%. Well, nice out right there. That should be rack number 1. Mr. Finley getting the first rack against Jeff here.
Man, getting a lot of hate from some bald guys on this chat.
Guys, just as a reminder, too, whenever the Scotch doubles is done, which is the main table we're keeping score with, I will be doing a shutdown of stream and rebooting here. What that means for you guys, it'll just be a fresh link here in just a few minutes. I don't know why we're getting all the drop frames here. We have a great internet connection right now. Everything speed-wise has been good. So something's acting up, so I'm just going to give a quick little reboot, see if it'll balance itself back out for us. I was trying to give it enough time, but it's been almost an hour here, so. Katie over there says, Papa Finley playing, is he being a donkey? No donkeys yet. Still plenty of day for that to happen.
He's just showing
Shot
off.
right there.
He was just showing off. Not many people see that. Not many people see that two-railer from where he was at. They usually just shoot it right at the hole. But he had to get shape, Katie.
Casey is being a donkey. Oh, no. I was trying to help him out.
It's funny because I believe that Marty, I think it's Marty, Jason, and Josh are on the same Masters team that made it to that 17th through 32 spot.
Yeah.
I think their team name is Donkey Express.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Terry says Finley's always a donkey. No.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lanta.
A little
I
bit
love
of,
it.
A little bit of razzing from the local
Yeah.
Columbia people.
That's too
It's
good.
all love. It's all love. All right, so
I'm assuming he's got enough room to two-rail this, get right behind that, and possibly get the 9 in the left-hand side pocket.
Yeah, he's just kind of gauging up what happens if he puts it over there in front of the side and it doesn't go. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
But yeah, I'm popping this one.
Yeah. Not much risk for a scratch here coming off the one to the other
No.
corner pocket. You're always going to kind of hit it full in the face like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, good try. Good try. I like it.
I mean, you're up 6-1. I mean, why not take a swing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's there. Never pass up on something that's right there for you, you know? Don't oversimplify anything.
Hey, welcome in, Brantley. How's it going? Yeah, Carolina. Definitely. I know the stream is stuttering a little bit here, so we will get that taken care of hopefully here in a moment if the internet's gonna be nice. It's just on the internet end as well. I don't know why it's wanting to drop frames when all speed tests pointed to everything being good earlier, but we'll get taken care of.
Okay, so Marty with a good shot there. This will kind of slow this rack down, being that he's got the 2 and the 7, I believe that is tied up. Um, unless he can find a way to bank this ball down there and bank it off the 2, it'll clear the run out. And
Ooh.
I want to say that's what he was thinking or trying to conceive with that shot.
They're making just say, guys, shoot the cue ball where it lies.
Yeah. So earlier before the matches started, that was kind of one of the rules that the APA has, which is, if a ball comes off the table, it is spotted. I know that might seem a little foreign to a lot of people, but in the APA, that is their rule. We are playing an APA event here, so we're going to abide by those rules.
Yeah. Going for that 9.
Yeah, and I mean it was worth it to shoot
Yeah.
that ball because you had a chance to shoot it a lot of different ways. You can make it cleanly. You can play it off of the 2. You can hit the rail first and play it off of the 2. A lot of good things can happen there. Just playing it at speed like that.
By the way, guys, up next will be the 4th player on each team, which is going to be Curtis versus Jim in the regular Masters format. So they'll play a normal Masters race here, normal rules with that, where they'll both lag, determine whether they want to break or determine the format, and go from there.
All right, Columbia. Here's your little opportunity, your first little kind of window here.
Yeah, really big opportunity.
Try to get this one down here. Kind of dig yourself back into this match.
Yeah, what a nice table layout too. For the most part, I'm just worried about the 5, I guess. But
Yeah, the four is in an area where like you can get it shape on a lot of pockets to get the right angle to go over there to the left side rail for shape.
yeah, there's just a lot of blockers for that 5 ball.
Yeah.
Calvin's like, not for me. That ain't no problem.
Oh my goodness, I wish. I fret over every shot. It seems like sometimes I tend to oversimplify things, but I think Marty's got to go to the rail and across here for the 4 like that. Hopefully he's on the correct side where he'd be cutting the 4 slightly to his right, so the cue ball can go to the left side rail here when he shoots it in the corner.
Team races to 13. Jason, what's going on, bud? There's a lot more of y'all coming into the live stream as well. Keep in mind, we will be ending stream in just a moment. We've had some issues with dropped frames here, unfortunately here, some stuttering on the stream, and we'll be rebooting things after this matchup here for the doubles is done.
Yeah, so Jonathan recognizes that there's a good chance to fall straight in on this 5 ball, and if you do happen to fall dead straight in on this 5 ball, it will be very tough to get out for the 6. That's why he's kind of using his time out here, making sure that they're both on the same page about how to get there.
Yeah, this is really the determining factor of this rack, just with how everything else is kind of set up. Oh, and he drifted down so beautifully too. Wow.
Yeah, and see the problem with that shot right there is you're trying so hard to get the cue ball to go somewhere that it doesn't naturally want to go to when you're
Yeah.
pocketing it in that section of the pocket, right? A lot of times, like in a spot like that, you just gotta look and see. All right, well, this is where the cue ball wants to go, right? If you try to force it there and it doesn't want to go there, then that's what's going to happen because you're going to slightly cut the ball or either undercut it or overcut it depending on where you're trying to go with the cue ball. Right there, I feel like you should just take your medicine and trust that your partner is going to, if you can't get there, if it seems too difficult and it's going to affect the pot, then just make the ball and let your partner do what he's there for, which is, let's just say that he made the ball and he did hook him with the 8 just a hair, right? The rail's always there, and the rail's always
Which is what he's going to do right here.
the rail first shot is
Yeah.
always going to get you out for shape. That's what I mean. Is sometimes you can try to play too perfect for your partner, but you just gotta trust your partner to do whatever he needs to do to help you.
Good try. I think he hit that just a little too hard. Didn't let the English really take off the 5.
Yeah,
But he didn't leave it good.
I kind of looked up for a second, so I missed where he hit the pocket at there.
Yeah, it rattled. I think it hit the right-hand side of the pocket point first and did a little rattle
Okay.
in and back out there to the right.
I gotcha.
Joshua says, I'm taking notes, Calvin. You should be taking notes. Calvin is giving you guys a really, really good breakdown. Really good breakdown.
Josh Kingston is probably like one of like the most improved players I've seen in the Columbia area. I remember the first time I seen him really just kind of like picking up a house cue or a cue off the wall and just hitting balls. And now, every time I got to play him in an event where like, it's handicapped or whatever, I definitely do not like it. He's always a tough one.
That's funny.
All right, so Marty's trying to figure out if he wants to kick to make the ball, or if he feels like he can 2-rail and hit deep enough behind the 5 to send it down table and hold his cue ball.
Yeah, there's not a lot of love here if he goes to the right hand long rail.
Yeah, and being that the score is what it is, I feel like go ahead and swing for the shot offensively.
I'm already giving our ref here a notice. He says you better get in a good spot too. He's like, I'm about to hit it 300 miles an hour. I like that.
Yeah, and the reason why he's kicking it hard is
got
he
to.
wants to shorten this angle up.
Nope. Well, that was definitely that 7 ball all day long.
I mean, it was close.
That's the ref say good hit on the 7 ball.
Yeah, he got a rail.
Yeah.
Well, still a little bit of
Yeah,
work
good
here.
try.
Still a little bit of work here. The 8 doesn't pass. The 8 really only has 2 pockets here. I think he's
Right-hand
going.
side
I
and
think
top
he's.
right.
I think he's going for the breakout here. He's
Yeah.
probably gonna clip. Well,
Uh-oh.
that's probably.
Ooh.
I hate that. That's why
He's
I
on
said.
top of it.
That's why I kind of stuttered there for a second, saying that he probably wants to clip one of the balls, not go into both of them like that.
Man.
Because
That's tough.
going into both of them right there, you're hitting pretty much the left side of both balls, and if you're hitting the left side of it like that, you're gonna go down there towards the 7.
Yeah.
But I understand trying to go through it forcefully as well. Trying to do something delicate under under a little bit of pressure. Being on the stream, stuff like that. You kind of want to do what feels like the right shot, not something finessey or delicate.
And for those just joining us, too, by the way, this matchup between these two on this table here is still matchup number 1. We're on to matchup number 3 on the second table right this moment, but this is still matchup number 1 and still kicking through. Which this is set up very well now.
Right. From here, don't want to jinx anybody, but from here they should be out.
Yeah, I would say the expectation with this high level of players is I mean, you can do this a couple ways. You can take the 6 where it lies and just be simple, and take the 7 all the way down. bottom left, pull back on it for the 8 top right. You
Yeah,
can,
so
yep,
he just
pull it
wanted
down.
he just wanted to make sure that he didn't leave anything that was even close to being missable.
Yeah.
Played good shape for the side with the right angle going down towards the 8.
Yep.
Everything
Set up good.
Yeah, everything leads to each other from here.
Smooth strokes, and no need to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a keep it simple moment.
There you go. Yeah, I was still holding my breath
we
on
go.
him shooting that shot.
Very good out here. We're going to go back over to the second table here, matchup number 3 between Mr. Jeff, who you see on the streaming table right now, versus Finley.
So, both players well versed in 8-ball. Both players very good at conceiving shots playing 8-ball as well, because they're both well versed in different games. So being well versed in one pocket really comes in handy playing 8-ball, because your mind's thinking about all the different scenarios that can come up when it comes to balls playing off of each other and such. And it's good too, because playing 8-ball, you don't always have to stick to one option. You can always kind of change your plan, be flexible. You don't always have to get out on your one inning. You want to try to kind of gauge if you can get out on one inning, if it's worth shooting it out.
Calvin, this looks like it's problematic here. He doesn't have room for this corner power by the luck of it. He was staring it down, but
I believe it's there. I think